Hello once again, everybody. My name's Mitch. Welcome back to the series I'm Turning 30, where I, Mitch, talk about things that have made me me up to me turning 30. Whether that's things in the past, things that are currently happening in my life, or something down the line. And as you can see, and I assume we'll probably quick, I'm going to be talking about hot sauces, kind of slash spicy food in general. Now, I know I talked about food recently, and I wasn't planning on making a hot sauces video specifically, but as I got to more thinking about it, I figured why not talk about why spicy food is my favorite food and talk about the hot sauces that I like. First, I'll show you the sauces that I currently have in my refrigerator. So right now in Japan, there is not many hot sauces that I love that I can buy kind of where I'm at. Pretty limited, but when I first got here, I found a bottle of this hot sauce right here. Now this brand of hot sauce I found probably my second week here. I found it at the grocery store here and I tried it and I was very impressed. It's a sauce from Belize, for some reason shipped to Japan, and they had it at my local grocery store for about a month and a half after I got here, and I think I bought out pretty much all of the inventory and they actually haven't restocked it. It was gone within about a month and a half. The bottles that were there, I must have been the only one buying it because they still don't have it. I still check for it every single time that I go. But now I found out that they sell the bottle online on Amazon Japan and it comes very quickly. So for some reason, there is a Belize company called Marie Sharps that sends their hot sauces to Japan, and they're pretty quick to get here, and I pretty much have their entire lineup. All the sauces that I have today are from Marie Sharps. They're from this Belize company that quickly gets hot sauces from Amazon Japan basically next day to my doorstep. And because they're all so tasty, I basically have their entire lineup. That first one I showed you is kind of like their classic hot sauce that pretty much anyone can have. And next up from that, we have their green sauce. Most of these sauces that they have are made with habanero peppers, so it's a little bit above what I would say most people kind of normally have for spice levels, but still tasty nonetheless. If we keep going down the line, they then have a smoked habanero sauce. This one kind of tastes like a chipotle sauce to me. This is also really good, probably one of my favorites that they have. They have just a red habanero sauce, a little bit more spice than that very first one that I showed you. Pretty much the same taste, just a little bit more pepper inside of it. Next one that they have is this other green one. This one specifically has more of a tomato flavor. It's very similar to the last one. Again, maybe a tiny bit spicier, but has more of a tomato-esque flavor in it. And then for the very last one, we have the Comatose Hot one, where they just have a shit ton of habaneros. Even a beware sign right here. This little black part right here says beware on it before you consume it. Now, these are currently the only hot sauces I have right now, but I also frequently will order hot sauces from Heatonist. If you don't know what Heatonist is, if you know what Hot Ones is, you've heard of Heatonist. They're the ones that basically supply the hot sauce for the show Hot Ones. And so I will order from them. The shipping does take a little bit longer, and I do kind of pay a premium because of Japan, but the bottles aren't necessarily super expensive, and if there's a bottle that I've come to love in the past 10 years, then I will kind of get shipped over, or maybe a super interesting sauce that I've never seen before. So yeah, like in the past week, I think I have thrown away 3 different other hot sauces from them, and I just got this lineup. I just replenished these, so I have all of these. And I also have some other Marie Sharps as like backups in case I run out at an inopportune time to buy more. When I talk about hot sauces and spicy food, we do have to shout out my sister here. She is the one that technically got me interested in it. I can't remember if I talked about it in the food video, but for what's not really a super long story, when I was a kid, I was pretty adamant about what I wanted to eat. I wouldn't say picky, but I found one thing I liked, why I kind of waver from that. And there's this one time we were at a restaurant in California, and my sister convinced me to get hot wings at this restaurant, and I had them, and I was like, my brain kind of just expanded in that moment, and I entered a world where I had these buffalo wings that had this hot flavor, and I never had anything like it. I thought they were amazing, and I, from then on out, kind of sought after spicy food or was super stoked about it. Now after that, while I was really a big fan of the buffalo sauce and like buffalo wings, I didn't really know where to find hot sauces that were different than the ones that you would see on a table. The Tapatios, Valentinas, Tabascos of the world that are just in restaurants everywhere. Those were there, and I would have those, but they never like hit the same, especially because they're kind of everywhere. They all have not like a similar flavor, but they're table hot sauces for a reason. And if we're talking about table hot sauces, Valentina's easily the best table hot sauce by far, especially the Black Label version. If you haven't had the Black Label Valentina, highly recommend. It's a very good table hot sauce that pretty much anyone can have. If it's too spicy for you, just get the regular kind. But Valentina is leagues above any other Tabasco, Tapatio, Cholula, totally above all of them. But yeah, other than those sauces, I didn't really know how to like find spicy food. I wasn't sure what dishes would be called, what restaurants were good to go to. Did I just Google spicy food and go somewhere? No, when I was a teenager, I wasn't really gonna do that sort of thing. But when something spicy was on the menu and I knew it was spicy, or someone told me it was spicy, I would want to try it. Now, eventually, as I got older, I learned what cultures really use different sauces or spices or peppers in their cooking, and that led me to start looking at peppers more, what kind of different peppers do, where to put them on things, what sauces go with what kind of dishes. And I would say maybe when I was like 17 is when I really started to understand and was able to frequent places that had more than just those table hot sauces or something else that I could put on a dish. Now, this was amplified when I went to Mexico when I was about 19 years old for my mission. In Mexico, I went right on the border, and man, oh man, did we have so much spicy food. There were constant peppers at pretty much every meal, just not in things necessarily. I mean, yes, they were also in things, but just on the table. You just snatch them and bite them. I think that they're called chili piquins, and they're just these small little chilies that people will have in like a bowl or something. They'll have something in the middle of the table, and just to add flavor to what you're eating, you'll just pick one up and just bite it off of the stem, and it's just this rush of spice and flavor in your mouth while you're eating. And oh man, I got so addicted to those. And sometimes you would get them and you'd be eating them and you're like, oh, these aren't that bad, they're kind of spicy, and then you'd hit one and it was like inferno in your mouth. It was crazy how much one of these things could punch, and it would just be completely random. And then, of course, you had all the amazing sauces and salsas that people would make in Mexico. And Mexico really, really just highlighted and made my spice addiction just way worse. Everything had spice on it. It was all amazing. I loved having these spicy sauces, trying these peppers that people would have. Hell, there were people that would have habanero peppers that would just bite into them while they were eating. It was a fiasco, but like a good fiasco. It was just so fun to be a part of and try these things that people just constantly had every single meal. So yeah, that really enhanced my love for hot sauces and spicy food, was being there, just discovering different cuisines and what you could put on things. Again, I was discovering it before, but going there really helped me see it. And then coming back after that, just trying to find places that could kind of soothe this experience that I had had in Mexico. Now, I'm not sure if a lot of people know this, but there is science to back up the fact of why people get addicted to spicy food, is because for many people, if not all people, I'm not sure exactly the percentage, but it releases dopamine when you eat it. So getting addicted to this more so in Mexico, now later into my 20s and much farther into the future, I will just continue to buy different hot sauces. I had a pickle hot sauce this last week. I had a yuzu hot sauce this past week. There are so many different hot sauces and things that people try to mix in a hot sauce that makes it amazing. Especially finding a hot sauce that goes with a dish that you wouldn't normally put a hot sauce on. Now with hot sauces, I'm not talking you need to like glob it on to whatever you're eating. For example, with the pickle hot sauce that I got, I would kind of use it as a sort of substitute to relish on hot dogs. It still gave like that relish feel on a hot dog, but it was also mixing in a pepper aspect. It had the pickle taste, which gave it the relish thing. And again, finding these hot sauces that you can add to dishes that kind of enhance them or can replace an ingredient is very impressive to see. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. I really just wanted to talk about how much I love hot sauces, where it started. I don't see it ending anytime in my future anywhere soon. If you have any recommendations for any hot sauces you'd like me to try, I'd love to hear them. I have tried almost everything in the Hot Ones lineup. If you're curious if I've tried the Bomb, the Last Dab, all that stuff, I have tried it. So thanks once again, everybody, for tuning into this series. I really appreciate the support. Again, if you have any hot sauces you want me to try that you think would be easy for me to get here in Japan, please leave them down in the comments below. If you have something you want me to talk about in the future, whether it's something I've kind of briefly touched on in the past or in this video, again, please leave it in the comments down below. If you liked this hot sauce video, give it that like button, baby. And if you want to hear my stupid face talk about stupid topics every single week, please hit that subscribe button as I put out a new video every single week up to me turning 30, which will be a while from now. But yeah, once again, thanks, peace, I love you, see you later.